here. So today I'm going to be talking about me and Mason's Disney trip that we had last October. So me and Mason, we decided to go to Disneyland during the Halloween season because Halloween is our favorite holiday and I wanted to really experience what it would be like in Disneyland because like I've seen videos and it's kind of been on like my bucket list to go during Halloween. I really want to go during Christmas now after seeing like Christmas videos, but I always seen like the spooky decor they had and I always was a big fan, so I decided to buy us tickets. And then yeah, we ended up going just for 3 days, 5 days total. I just want to give as much knowledge as I have when I went to you if you are interested or inquiring about maybe going to Disneyland in the future. And just so you know, Disneyland is not just for kids. It is perfectly fine for adults as well. I had an absolute blast. I want to say I had more fun as an adult than a kid because you just have so much more appreciation for the decor and like just everything, like all the work that they put into it and the actors that they have like roaming around and the characters. I just had the best time. So I'm going to be talking about good information to have before going to Disneyland. I'm going to be talking about the rides that I went on and my favorite rides and my least favorite rides. I'm gonna be talking about the food. All right, so I think we should dive into some good information to have when you're at Disneyland. So I'm gonna start off with bring a lot of cash. They do take credit or debit, so I mean go ahead and take debit and credit as well, but I just like took cash myself because I didn't want to like spend too much money. So, and then I think that they do charge you if you do end up using your credit card in a different country. Like I'm from Canada, so if you're from the US, like this isn't gonna affect you, but in Canada, like there's a fee every time you use your credit card in a different country. Save a lot of money for souvenirs because they have like a souvenir shop like everywhere you look. Every little part of Disneyland or California Adventure, they have little souvenir shops. And so you're gonna want to buy absolutely everything. I mean, I wanted to buy absolutely everything. I bought the case that I can't show you but I do have a picture of it that I'm gonna display right now. It's a Nightmare Before Christmas case and I absolutely love it. So I bought that in the Star Wars section. And there was like a little section where you could make your own phone case. So you can either put like, I don't know, a picture that you have on your phone and you can get them to print it off. I think mine was like $40 USD. But I don't know, I didn't get it custom. I just got like one of the many designs that they had. So you can pick through like a lot of designs. It's a great idea for a phone case. The phone case is really good. It's not like a cheap, phone case. It's like it's got like good cushion for if you drop it and stuff as well. So that's good. I got some Mickey ears or mini ears. I'll show you. They're like really cute. Yeah, so I got these. They're super cute. They have like a million different designs. So don't buy like mini ears right away. I would like look at every single store because literally like they have so many like designs, so many selections. I wouldn't even buy anything beforehand. You can literally just get everything there. Mason got a sweater. I think it was $90 USD or 85, I can't remember. It's really expensive to get clothes at Disneyland. Like a t-shirt's like 50, I think. But like if you want to get like a long sleeve or a sweater, like the sweaters are like over 100 USD. So it's quite expensive. I mostly just went there for like the snacks and I wanted to spend most of my money on the food because they have like the cutest like caramel apples. I got like a Rice Krispie treat. There's like popcorn and churros and like literally like my sweet tooth was like throbbing, just like looking at every kind of sweet that I wanted. So that's kind of what I mostly spent my money on. Another tip I would suggest is to download the Disney app. So it has like a bunch of food on there. Before we went, people were suggesting to like go on the app and like pre-purchase your food, and saying like that's the only like way to buy food. Yeah, that's not true. There's still lines. You can still line up, and a lot of the times like they don't have lines. So like, I don't know, like I don't think there's like a huge point in like getting the food before you like get there, unless you know you're in a rush and you know that you're gonna be at this part of the park at this time, kind of thing. But yeah, we didn't have any issues, and we didn't order one thing on the app. I just say that you need to download the app because there are certain rides. There's one Star Wars ride, and then there's one Spider-Man ride where there's a queue, and you have to, right when it opens at like 7 in the morning, you have to like put yourself in the line. And sometimes if you're not fast enough, you can't even get in the line. So maybe get like a really good phone so that you can get in that line. Because trust me, you do not want to miss the Star Wars ride. The Spider-Man ride, you could definitely go without. It was kind of lame. I suggest to download the app even just for that reason. The app is good also to check out different types of food that's around you, and just, I don't know, if you have any questions, you can always just check the app. When we went, there was the Oogie Boogie. The Oogie Boogie actually lasts from September until the 31st. So I would not suggest to go to California Adventure. You should check beforehand if the Oogie Boogie is happening that evening, because you're not going to get your full money's worth. So we were only going to be in California Adventure for one day. It was the night of the Oogie Boogie. And what they do is they don't like necessarily kick everybody out. They will start crossing off all of the exits, and you can only go certain ways unless you have a wristband that says the Oogie Boogie. And they'll just ask you for your wristband everywhere. You can't go into certain like parts of the park, or you can't like purchase certain things without a wristband, and then you just eventually get like pissed off and you can leave. Mason found a wristband on the ground, so he gave me a wristband, and he wasn't able to go anywhere, but he literally just like sat and waited for me because I was like kind of wandering through the park or whatever, like seeing where I could go with my wristband. I was able to check out like some parts of the park that they had decorated just for the Oogie Boogie Bash. We were able to go in and meet Oogie Boogie himself. One of my favorite things about the trip was the Oogie Boogie Bash because we didn't have to pay for it. I think that the Oogie Boogie Bash is not a waste of money, but it's overpriced. Probably worth the money if you have children, but just for 2 adults, I don't know if it's worth it, because a lot of it's just like you go and like get candy. So you like line up and you like, they have like buckets of candy and stuff that you can go and grab. And then there's also a parade. The parade is pretty extravagant, so I think that was like probably the best part. There's like this person that was like wristbands, and like I held up my arm, and it kind of was like both of us had wristbands or whatever, and Mason put like his hoodie on so that they didn't see like that he didn't have a wristband, and we got away with it the whole night. We left after the parade shortly because we couldn't really go anywhere or do anything. But yeah, we kind of tricked the system. And we were like crying like before we went in. At the beginning of the day, it was like, I don't know, like 9:30 or something, and we had just got to the park, and I was crying because I was like, what, it's gonna close at 6? Like, and I asked if we could like get our money back, and they're like, no. And I was like, okay, so basically I'm getting ripped off because I'm paying for a full day, but because there's the Oogie Boogie Bash, I need to pay another $130 USD each. It was not cheap. It was ridiculous, but it all worked out. That being said, it might not work out for you, so I wouldn't try to trick the system. It's not very likely it's gonna work out in your favor. I would just check beforehand to see when they have the Oogie Boogie Bash, and don't go on that day. Like, don't go to California Adventure on that day. So I just want to shine a light on the decorations for like a quick minute. I thought that they had more decorations, but they did have a fair bit of Halloween decorations. Mostly just like at the entrance, right when you walk into the park. There's a lot of pumpkins. They have the giant pumpkin that's like iconic. Me and Mason got to take a picture in front of it with our costumes. That was probably the longest line we waited in. Isn't that funny? You'd think like the rides. Nope, it was that pumpkin. That was the longest line. Probably took, I think, an hour and a half just to get a picture of us in front of the pumpkin, but totally worth it because that picture is iconic and I love it so much. And you also have to pay as well to get a picture. It's $20, I think, to get a picture in front of the pumpkin with the professional photographer. You can ask him to take a picture on his phone, but he's not gonna try hard and some of them might say no. So I don't know, just pay the 20 bucks, who cares? That was just my thought process, like whatever. And yeah, so that also answers another question that like people wonder is like, can you dress up when you go? So we went on Halloween day, the 31st, and we were, can you guess what we were? We were Frank and Lily from the Jungle Cruise, which is a Disney movie. So we figured we'd be something Disney, and everybody knew who we were at Disneyland. It was so cool. Everyone was complimenting our costume. It was so much fun. I 100% recommend dressing up because that was probably one of the funnest days. And of course, all the attention and all the compliments was really nice as well. So yeah, dress up. It's totally allowed as long as it's appropriate. Of course, it's a kids park, so don't go in some like slutty little outfit or something. Dress appropriately. It wasn't super hot that day. It was 21 degrees. I want to say the perfect temperature. I would 100% suggest to go to Disneyland in October or in September or in the fall, I guess. It wasn't too hot, but it was just the perfect temperature I found. So I would say if you don't like the heat too much and you like fall weather, if you really like Halloween and you want to get like a decent deal on a flight, October is your time to go. So 100% recommend going during that time. How long were the wait times? Honestly, the wait times were not bad at all. I don't know if it's because we went during like COVID. It wasn't COVID, it wasn't 2020, but it was 2021 and it was kind of still COVID a little bit. So I don't know if that kind of plays a role in the wait times, but honestly, like we waited anywhere from 5 minutes or even not waited at all to maybe an hour and a half was like our longest wait time. I want to say they averaged probably around 30 to 45 minutes. And you can also see the wait times. Like before you go in, they have like a digital screen that says how long the wait time is. And that's usually pretty accurate. How long should you go for? So I would suggest to go for 2 full days at Disneyland and 1 full day at California Adventure, if you want to get everything done, that is. I do have the park hopper. I would not say the park hopper's worth it. It's like an extra like $50 USD, which is pretty expensive. I would just say just do full days, because then you have to wait in the line too. Like when you're hopping back and forth, like you have to wait in the line, you know. So just like get in and like stay there the full day. It's not hard. There's so much to do, so much to see. You're not gonna want to leave. Actually, I take that back. If there's like 4 of you and less, 4 of you or less, go for the 2 full days and 1 full day at California Adventure. If there's 4 of you or more and you're going with like a big group, I would say double that. So I would say 4 days in Disneyland and 2 days in California Adventure. Another thing was when we landed in LAX, Los Angeles, there were no shuttles. There was the Colonel's shuttle that normally runs, but because of COVID, it was shut. And it's normally $130 USD. So, I mean, that's worth it because it takes you right to the park, right? So beforehand, look for shuttles if there is any. I doubt that they have the shuttles still like closed down, unless they permanently close them. I have no idea. But beforehand, I would probably try to find yourself a ride back to your hotel. We literally were stuck at the airport for like, I want to say like 3 hours after 4 hours after our plane had landed. It was bad. We were trying to find an affordable way to get to our hotel. We were trying to find a shuttle. People would, like, everyone was telling you something different, like, oh yeah, go over there for the shuttle, go over there for the shuttle. Nobody knew what they were talking about. Figure something else out before you land, because like trying to figure out when you're at the airport and like we didn't have like data. My data wasn't working. The only data that was working was Mason's, and so I wasn't able to call us like a taxi or a cab or anything. We had to use an Uber through his app, through his phone, and an Uber was like $100 or so, like even more than that, 100 USD. So we ended up catching a ride with a random guy from Texas. We just like randomly started talking to him, started ranting to him. He's like, oh my God, I know, this is so frustrating. I'm just trying to find like an affordable way to get there. He's like, do you want to split a cab? I'll give you like $40. So he gave us $40. We paid $40. I can't remember how much we paid. And then we just like walked from Disneyland to like our actual hotel in the blazing heat. So yeah, that was not fun. So just be a little bit more prepared. Where did we stay? We stayed at the Cortana Inn. I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend getting a bundle. So when you're going and buying your ticket, I did everything separately because flights were really cheap at the time. So I bought the flights first, then we bought the Disneyland passes, then we bought the hotel. I would suggest to just do it all as a bundle because you get it cheaper that way. I thought that the hotel was like a good deal. If you get the hotel in a bundle, it is not really that good of a deal. I wouldn't suggest staying there because it's pretty far. It was like a 20-minute walk. And the last thing you want to do when you walked 25,000 steps in one day is to walk back to your hotel after your feet are like aching. They said they had free breakfast and their free breakfast was garbage. So yeah, just get somewhere that's closer. 5-minute walk would be perfect. I think that sums everything up that I know my knowledge on Disneyland. I hope that this video helped. If it did help, throw a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel because I'm still doing another part to this. I'm doing a maybe just like a part 2, and it will be about food and rides. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!